Hey friends, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com, and today I have 3 questions for you that I ask myself every time I mix to help me get a better mix and in less time, and I'd love to share them with you to help you with your mixes. All right, so think about this. How many times have you sat down to mix, and as you're getting through your song, 30 minutes go by, hour goes by, you're a couple hours in, the mix isn't quite where you want it to be, and you start to wonder, how am I gonna get this mix better? What is it gonna take? And you start to reach for things like an EQ or a compressor. You start swapping out EQs, swapping out compressors. You start thinking about things like, ooh, should I have been mixing at a higher sample rate, or should I have been mixing at 32-bit floating point bit depth instead of 24-bit? Or maybe I shouldn't be mixing on my monitors. Maybe it's my headphones that make a difference. Maybe I should switch DAWs. Maybe, whatever it is. Looking for a new trick, a new tip to help you get a better mix when you've really missed the core of what your mix needs. Been there, done that. I get sidetracked so easily because I just crush a mix as best I can, give it all I got, and I'm like, well, that's all I got, so it's not as good as I want it to be. What can I throw at it? What can I throw at this mix to make it better? When in reality, I've just gotten off track of what it actually takes to get a good mix. And so over the years, I've kind of fallen onto 3 questions I try to ask myself that keep me focused, because all these things, sidechain compression and techniques and parallel processing and third-party plugins and mix bus processing and all these things, many of which I love and use, are all around the center of what a mix really is all about. They're all things that maybe help, but what really makes your mix is these 3 things I'm about to share with you today. So question number 1 that I ask myself every time I mix is this: can I hear every single track? Very simple. I mean, have you ever literally asked yourself that question when you're mixing? Can I hear everything? You as the mixer get to control this. This is so foundational. Yet we jump past this. We jump past it to think, how can I make this mix sound cool? When we haven't even asked ourselves, can I hear every track in the mix? Because you should be able to. If the track helps the song, if it's part of a good arrangement, if you pull it up and it sounds good and helps the arrangement, you should be able to hear it in the mix. But more often than not, there's many tracks that are buried in your mix that you just haven't pulled up loud enough. Think about it this way. If you were asked to mix a live show at a big concert venue and you had never mixed in your life, you knew nothing about EQ, compression, acoustics, anything. You didn't understand a console, you don't know anything. And you were told, here are these things called volume faders, and they're just basically a volume knob for every single microphone on stage. You can turn any mic you want up or down. That's simple. If that was all you were given and told to mix a live show, what would you do? It's very simple. You would look at the stage and say, well, it looks like there's a guy playing a bass guitar. Can I hear the bass guitar? If you can't, you grab the fader that says bass guitar and you turn it up until you can hear him. Same thing if you see a guy playing electric guitar over there and he's noodling on some cool riff, but you don't hear that cool riff. Find that fader that says electric guitar and you turn it up till you can, oh, now I can hear what he's doing. If there's a drummer and he's banging on the snare drum and you can hear plenty of it and it's a little too loud, find the fader that says snare drum and pull it down a little bit so it's not too loud. If that's all you did at a live show, you would actually have a half-decent mix, maybe a really good mix, because everybody in the audience would be able to hear everything on stage. And that's all we want to do when we come to a live show, is hear everything on stage. Yet you and I are a little more advanced, and so we're beyond volume. We're moving on to more bigger, better things. No. Can you hear everything in the mix is the most important question you can be asking. Because more often than not, there's something like a shaker track that is important to the vibe and the feel of the song, and it's just buried. And you think about it, I can't actually hear that shaker. I see a track that says shaker in my DAW, but I can't hear it. So turn it up, and then all of a sudden that energy, that rhythm gets enhanced in the mix. Same thing with the background vocals, same thing with a harmony, same thing with a kick drum. I don't feel the kick drum. Maybe it's just not loud enough. So think about that, and it starts with the volume. The other piece to this is EQ. I talk about EQ ad nauseum because it's the most powerful tool you have in a mix beyond your volume fader. I don't care what EQ it is, but a lot of times volume is not enough. There's frequencies that are covering up other frequencies, and an EQ is just a smart volume fader. It's a volume fader tied to different frequencies that you can basically turn down or turn up certain frequencies so everything can poke out in a mix. So that's a whole nother level of power you have there. Check out all my other videos on EQ for that. Question number 2 you need to be asking beyond, can I hear everything? That's step number 1. Once you can hear everything, you need to ask, is there anything that is distracting in the mix? anything at all that diverts your attention for 1 millisecond away from the heart of the song, away from the focus of the song. So for example, this could be, let's take that shaker track for example, it could be that when the shaker comes in, it's like, whoa, there's a shaker. That might be too loud. If for a moment you're like, oh, shaker, you need to turn it down a bit. If there is a random harmony part where it's nice and tucked, but all of a sudden one word starts to jump out over the lead vocal and you notice it a bit too much, oh, there's a harmony there. That means it's too loud, it's distracting, so maybe automate that part down. The goal here is to think like a director of a film, right? When I'm directing a film and I'm in charge of making sure the film is good and looks great in the end, I'm thinking of the person in the movie theater watching the movie. I want to make sure that there is nothing in the way the film is presented that will distract the viewer for even a moment and pull them out of the story for a moment. So if I'm locked in as a viewer to the movie and I'm enjoying the movie, and all of a sudden it cuts to a scene and the color correction is off from the previous scene and it looks like out of sync with the previous scene, and go, whoa, is the coloring different? All of a sudden I'm out of the movie. I'm thinking about the coloring of the movie. Or if the music or sound effects are consistent all throughout the movie and all of a sudden it's super loud in a scene and it's really distracting, it distracts me. Or if there's a jump cut that doesn't make sense, or the dialogue all of a sudden becomes hard to hear in part of the movie. All of those things would distract me as the viewer from the story, from the fantasy, from the fiction that's being told. We're doing the same thing with music. As a mixer, you're directing the audience's ears and their attention. So if anything distracts them for a moment, you've lost them. There should be nothing that distracts, nothing. You should only hear the song. So think like a listener. The moment you hear something jump out and you go, oh, is that too? It probably is. So make sure you eliminate all distractions. Finally, question number 3. What is the heart of the song? What is the most amazing thing in this song? Could be the vocal. Let's say you got a killer vocal performance like Adele. Imagine mixing Adele. You pull up those tracks and you know without a shadow of a doubt that Adele's music, as good as it is, as well recorded and arranged as it is and catchy as it is, what sells her music is her voice, because her voice is out of this world. It's larger than life. It's phenomenal. It's one of those voices that comes around every 20 years. So your job as a mixer of Adele would be to feature the voice at all costs. The drums can get smaller, the keyboards can get smaller, the strings can get smaller. I don't really care as long as I hear the heart of the song, which is her voice. Now, there's other songs that are great where the vocalist isn't nearly as strong. Take Nirvana, for example. Okay, Kurt Cobain is not the greatest vocalist on planet Earth. Never was. Does he have a cool voice? Absolutely. Does it work for his music? Absolutely. That's okay. So the heart of Nirvana's music is not the vocal. It probably would be the guitars and then maybe the drums, okay? It's sort of the riff rock thing. Make sure that that's working well. So you can decide what that is. Is it a loop? Is it a percussion thing? Is it a beat? Is it a vocal? Is it a vocal harmony? Some performances, the harmonies are so tight that the harmony itself needs to be the same volume as the lead vocal because it's the harmony is the thing, is the heart of that song, okay? So it could be like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Like harmonies were so critical in the moving parts of those songs that you wouldn't want to bury the harmonies that much. You'd want to make them featured. So what is the heart of the song? If you can identify that, then you as the mixer can feature that. Then the listener will go, this song is awesome. And that's your job, is to get the listener to think about the song, not the mix, just the song. This song is awesome. So, in review, this is very, very basic, but I'm telling you, this will help you. Can I hear everything in the song? You know what's in the song because you can see the tracks. If you can't hear everything, be honest with yourself and say it's probably too quiet, I need to turn it up. Number 2, is there anything distracting me from the song? Whatever it is, eliminate it. Automate it out, mute it. Get a better EQ. If it's a harsh frequency, EQ it out. If it's a dull frequency, EQ some brightness in. Whatever you got to do to make sure there's nothing going, oh, what's up with that? Eliminate those distractions. And number 3, identify the heart of the song. What is the heart of this song? And then exploit it, enhance it, feature it. I promise you guys, if you do these 3 things, if you ask these 3 questions, they will help you churn out a better mix in less time, because then you won't waste time asking the questions around the bigger questions that we love to debate, we love to talk about. Show me something exciting, show me some new technique or move, let's debate sample rates and pointless crap like that. When the focus of good mixing is balancing tracks, eliminating distractions, and featuring the best part of that song so that the listener goes, I love this song, man. I love this song. That's your goal. This will help you get there faster. Now let me ask you a question. Have you asked yourself these questions before in the mix? If you have, let me know. I'd love to know if you ask these questions or if you add something similar, if they help you. If you haven't, can I make a suggestion? today. Get out a small piece of paper, sticky note, I don't care. Write these 3 questions down, stick them on your desk or on your computer screen or wherever your mixing position is, so that on your next mix, you can pull them up at the beginning, go through and ask them. 30 minutes into the mix, go through and ask them. 2 hours into the mix, stop, refresh, ask those same questions to keep you on track. Hope that helps, guys. Again, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com. Trying to give you simple, powerful, helpful information. Don't dismiss this as just, yeah. People that dismiss it, they're not going to get better at mixing. People like you that take this advice and try it are going to see the power in it, and you're going to get results. You're going to quietly, consistently, and joyfully get results, and I'm happy with that. That's why I'm here, because I know that you're watching, and I know that this will help you. So I want to encourage you to take this advice and run with it, and then let me know how it's helped you in the future. Subscribe. Enjoy the other videos. Go to the website, get more great free content every single week. It's all there at therecordingrevolution.com. In fact, I've got a bunch of free tools I want to give you, ebooks, video series, and a bunch of exclusive content that I deliver to my insiders list every single week that I don't post anywhere else. If you want to jump on that, it's absolutely free, and it's waiting for you there at therecordingrevolution.com. That's all I got for you today, guys. Have a great week. Make some great music. We'll talk to you in another video soon. Take care.